Welcome to episode 26 of Bee's Travelogue. My second day in Gwangju, I spent walking to the same places I had been to the night before. As you can see, the atmosphere was very different during the daytime. I went back to Gwangju Village and expected it to be somewhat crowded, but once again I was almost the only one walking around the empty streets. I had time to really admire the architecture and the artwork outside each building. For me, it was fun to walk around the village and see how people had put everyday items together to create this artwork. A lot was penguin themed, but there were also flowers, bears, other animals. There were certain items that are very unique to Korean culture, all used and displayed. Penguins riding whales, penguins with umbrellas, penguins on snowmen. It was very cute and colorful. I had a lot of fun. A friend of mine later, who had lived in Korea for a while, went to Gwangju and went to Gwangju Village, and she and her husband didn't like it at all. So it really depends on your attitude and, what interests you. Around every corner and through every narrow street, there was always something new to discover, different colors, different patterns and shapes, always something for me to photograph. So for me, exploring like this is very enjoyable. After walking around Gwangju Village for a while and exploring every nook and cranny, I left the village and headed into the Hanok Village that was right next door. I had sort of gotten lost in this area the night before looking for the laser tower, but this time, during the daytime, several of the doors to the buildings were open and I was able to go inside and explore the interior. Most of these Hanok houses have a central courtyard and then several buildings arranged around it. The gardens are very beautiful as well and well kept. This time I was very excited to see signs of spring. I was really looking forward to seeing cherry blossoms in Korea and didn't want to miss the right timing. I had seen posters with town names and dates that indicated when was the best time to see cherry blossoms in each town. Most of them were in March and early April, and I didn't have any vacation at that time, so it was going to be difficult for me to see cherry blossoms in Seoul, for example. So I was very excited when I saw my first cherry blossoms here in Gwangju, which was just about an hour north of Mokpo. I was actually distracted from all the Hanok buildings because I was trying to take pictures of the trees and the first signs of spring. I walked through the Hanok Village some more, attracted by the narrow alleys and beautiful gates and paintings on the side of the walls, but I didn't go as far back as the laser tower. I returned to the church I had seen the night before, and then from there headed to a bus stop because my next destination was the 518 Memorial Park and Sculpture. I got off the bus near Mugag Temple or Mugag Sa. I walked through the temple area and saw more Hanok houses and different colored cherry blossoms. There was another camellia tree and these daffodils. I walked through the temple gate and saw 4 of these guards inside the gate. The houses and gardens were beautiful. There was another bell, there were several statues, and again, everywhere signs of spring. From the temple, I walked up some pathways to an overlook. I climbed up Owolru Overlook to see Gwangju again below me. Everywhere in Korea, it seemed, they were building more high-rises. Lots of cranes were always to be seen on the horizon. I walked around the different levels of the overlook and took pictures, and then kept going to find this other very steep staircase. At the top, I found a relatively small shrine, and then had to just go back down the stairs to get to 518 Memorial Park. Memorial Park and the 518 sculpture here was a reminder of what happened during the 1980 democratic protests and how the government had killed so many people during the demonstrations. I kept looking around for an entrance to what looked like the sculpture, and then discovered that this black block actually was the entrance. I had to go underneath it to walk inside, and then found this wall with all the names of the people killed during the protests. I was very moved by the statue of this mother holding her dead child. In 1980, when the Korean government cracked down on the protests in Gwangju, they killed, without discrimination, elderly people, students, and even young children. Just like the German government is reminding its citizens of what happened during World War II, the Korean government is reminding its citizens of what happened in 1980, and to not forget and to never let it happen again. This area of the park seemed pretty empty, and I was attracted once again by cherry blossoms. Soon there will be several videos that are filled with cherry blossoms. So if you love cherry blossoms, come back for more. Most of the people could be found on this meadow next to the monument where they were walking their dogs. There were several other statues that were all remembering the 518 demonstration and democratic movement. Each tablet described what happened, and there were photos backing up all the information. It was all very informative and very moving. However, it was time for me to return to the bus depot. I had enough time to eat a very fancy lunch, so I ate a very spicy pho in this Vietnamese restaurant right at the bus depot. It was delicious. Please join me for my next adventure. Thank you for watching.